It is bang on 8 o'clock in the morning, so I thought I'd start off on a good note before I slowly descend into madness. Hello all of you little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Tues Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval themed format where I, the crown Jules of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you, yes you the person who's questioning whether or not they can eat an extra large pizza all to themselves. Yes you can, I believe in you. Don't forget the dip. Yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week. And this week we have none other to thank than Diarmut for their suggestion of precise moments that made you rage quit in video games. And here's the thing. When it comes to mainstream media, they paint us gamers as a bit of, well, boo-hoo babies, big bundles of energy likely to snap the moment that things don't go exactly as we planned. And you know what? They're mostly right, yeah, but let me try and explain, because we actually are justified in our outbursts of tantrums and emotions, because sometimes video games are utter boat, mate. So let's take a look at them today, at the precise moments that you just said, nah, I'm out, so long chief, I'm done. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are the 8 precise moments that we gave up and rage quit on video games. And you know the drill by now, say hi to me here in the live chat and put your suggestions for next week's episode down in the comments section below. And with that, let's get on with this list. Number 8, The Chained Ogre, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Now, a fair few of you might be looking at this entry with very raised eyebrows, so much so that they begin to form the shape of Genichiro Oshina's bow as he puts another bastard round into your arse like a spiky pincushion, because you might have gone through the game with complete ease. You might have gone through the gauntlets of strength and just said, haha, what's next for supper? But trust me, The Chained Ogre is pretty much the moment where shit got real. The internet was awash at how this unwashed beast absolutely and positively broke their spirit with its aggressive slams and almost heat-seeker-like homing grabs. Guides and videos on how to avoid these attacks became rife, and it almost became a case similar to the Asylum Demon and Father Gascoigne in terms of being a roadblock for many new players. And while some of you may indeed scoff at this, you have to accept that the jump up in difficulty at this point was pretty apparent, mainly because of the arena in which you were fighting him. I mean, you had like that cliff that you could just be like, see ya! Oh, grappling hook. I'm back again. Oh, I'm gone again. This time for real. And also the fact that you could basically reenact Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan with him having the high ground and you just being like, guess I'm losing my legs then. Brilliant. So yeah, you have to accept that it was a jump up in difficulty, right? All of this made sure that as you got ground down again and again, it was enough to make sure that die twice in the Sekiro name became die over and over and over again until you rage quit. Nice. Number 7, Getting Spawn Slaughtered. Any FPS title. If modern FPS titles have taught us anything, it may well be that war itself is not actually hell, but online multiplayer might bloody well be. From the obvious levels of abuse and harassment that goes on from the lobby through to the matches and far beyond, to the move towards Twitch-style gameplay which can see you dying in an instant, it's fair to say that emotions are pretty bloody high across the board, and it is very common to see players rage quit upon a losing streak, some bad teamwork, and of course, when there are hackers roaming the servers. Damn you, hacker man! Yet there is actually one instance so purpose-built to make you put your fist through a wall that it's actually shocking how it's still so prevalent in top-tier titles even to this day, and that is getting spawn slaughtered. If your opponent is able to just round a corner just as you've loaded in and just unload an entire shotgun round to your face, then that is indicative of a very big problem, as not only is it completely unfair, but it also puts you at a massive disadvantage because your death is helping them get closer to victory. So all in all, when this happens, I think that it is perfectly justified to go, ha 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 ha, go f*** yourself. Bit blue this morning, aren't I, James?
Yes.
Swearing quite a lot at the moment. Hope you got the old beep button ready. Beep, beep, beep. You enjoying that? You enjoying that, mate? You enjoying that? Good.
No.
My neighbours probably aren't. Luckily, Kerry has gone to the office today, so I don't need to worry about how loud I am this morning. Fantastic! Savvy gamers who learn exactly where players will drop and exploit that really are the worst. And while you can't actually fault them for gaming a system in clear need of fixing, you'll be cursing their name until your dying days. Curse you XX69 Big Booby Bullet Bully 69XX! Number 6. Control, Goldeneye 007. So after a few years on the block as a wizened gamer, TM, I'm definitely trademarking that, I've learnt a few things, and one of them is that GoldenEye N64 fans, they are a very strange bunch, because they do not like it when you criticise that game at all, but at the same time will call utter bull about a lot of the level design, enemy placements, and indeed the AI, especially when it comes to speedrunning. I mean, seriously, just watch people there. You think that they hate the game when they play that. And one can find no better example of this utter bullshit than in the level Control, which may well be one of the most artificially difficult levels in the game. So much so that players probably broke their N64 controller in two before realizing, oh, actually wait, this is now just a regular controller, which is actually so much better than this hand mangler. Oh yes, drink it in, N64 controller hate. Oh, I love the retro spice. And how Control earns this artificial aspect of its inflated difficulty is down to the rogue AI known as Natalia, who James Bond needs to protect as she hacks different computer terminals. Now, for some strange reason, Rare, the developers of this game, decided to go really in-depth with one aspect of her AI personality, in that they clearly gave her Stockholm Syndrome because she gets in the way of every f***ing bullet that the enemy fires, like she's just going, no, James, they're just misunderstood. Don't worry, they actually treat me real nice here. Bah, 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 bah. I still maintain that they didn't mean to do that. Get out of the way. It is utterly draining how dense she is, and it is a testament to her idiocy that guides on higher difficulties teach you exploits to work around her lemming-like self-preservation skills. It makes going through Control an utter chore, so much so that I put it up there with going through the Aztec level, and as we know, that is not to be touched with a 10-foot barge pole, because it's stinky. But you know what isn't stinky? Today's musical interlude. James, are you ready? Are you suited and booted, my suave, sexy man from the, I was going to say the south, but you're not. You're very north. Slough. Are you from Slough?
No, I'm not from Slough. I'm from Scunthorpe.
Jazz, are you going to be his Natalia today?
Yeah.
Well, I hope not, because that will require you to knock your own brains out.
Oh.
Dum da da dum 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 da da dum 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 da da dum dum. James, I'm so sorry. You're right, mate. Some people say that we're losing our creative touch. Number 5, insanely perfect relic run on toxic tunnels. Crash 4, it's about time. So when it comes to thinking of moments that make you look like a proper wumper-chumper in the Crash Bandicoot series, so much so that it will make you rage quit, there are a few obvious choices that spring to mind. Hogwild, Native Fortress, everyone's favourite, the High Road, but you know what, my friends? Crash 4, it's about time. Well, it eats levels like these for bloody breakfast. You see, because Toys for Bob were clearly very intent on making players break theirs, It's About Time features a slew of levels that will make you yearn for the days of Hot Cocoa and the Lab, as thanks to the increased amounts of moves at your disposal and some utterly crushing level designs, you'll be likely stuck on areas like Seeing Double, Cortex Castle, and dragging on for bloody years. Making matters worse, though, was the inclusion of the insanely perfect relic runs, which require you to get all the hidden gems in an area and break all the boxes and collect over 80% of the Wumpa fruit without dying once. So many elements of that last sentence break my absolute soul, but when you apply all of these to toxic tunnels, well, it causes it to have a goddamn breakdown. This is by far one of the hardest levels of the game, and also possesses one of the hardest optional routes, which itself requires 4 coloured gems to open. This optional route also goes on for ages and ages, and is filled with so many hazards that it will erode your very essence as you die over and over. Seriously, in the realms of things that are created by the Lord and Saviour Slime Jesus and Beelzebub, I think I know which one of the two had a greater hand in designing this. That's right, it was you, Slime Jesus. You didn't stop him. You've got the power to do so, and you still let him run rampant. I'm getting tired of your actions, mate. Don't smite me. Don't smite me, please, mate. Don't smite me. But still, Beelzebub, you piece of trash. You goddamn piece of trash. Trying to obtain this perfect relic here was by far the hardest challenge in the entire game, and will likely be the sole reason that so many players fail to 100% this title, and also just walk away in an absolute rage. Number 4, the opening fight, Ninja Gaiden Black. The Ninja Gaiden series has always been known for its punishing difficulty, or almost taking things to hilarious bullshit levels of absurdity, from killing the player avatar off again and again and again, to having a go at you when you want to lower the difficulty. This is not a series that likes to play nice. And while a lot of players will point to stage 6-2 of the original as the tapping out point, Ninja Gaiden Black laughed at the concept of letting players experience some of the game before mashing their face into the floor, and so tried to utterly humiliate players in the opening bloody level. Hell, it wasn't even partway through the opening level, it was the first enemies you got to in the game, because whereas most sort of tutorial and early stages will say, hey look, here's some simple enemies for you to defeat, Ninja Gaiden Black just goes, ha ha ha, here's 3 assassins that are going to attack you all at once. They are not going to stand around and wait for one of their mates to finish attacking and wait for you to attack them and just kindly wait for their turn to get in. They are coming at you full force like a hurricane of knives. Have you ever experienced a hurricane of knives? No, because if you did, you'd be dead. Got really into that. It is actually very possible to be stun-locked into a corner of the room while this terrible trio just wails on you relentlessly, and likely saw many players hit the dirt before the adventure even truly started. To a casual gamer, this is exactly the hell no moment of the game, because if this is going to be the start of it, you can only imagine what things are going to do later on. And trust me, they did get worse. I should know. I actually have completed this game. My voice is breaking because I'm regressing back into a child because this thing is knocking me back through the years. Number 3, fighting Lady Comstock on 1999 mode, Bioshock Infinite. Now, I've never been shy about touting my love for Bioshock 2. In fact, I actually do believe that Bioshock 2 is better than Infinite, because Minerva's Den is quite possibly one of the finest DLC packs ever made, and I don't think you can argue with me on that one. So just give me it. I've got nothing else going on, so just let me have this one, alright? Alright, boys? But still, I would be lying if I said that Bioshock Infinite wasn't an absolute joy to play through for the most part. I mean, whether or not you're slinging and grinding along the rails in the sky like you're Tony Hawk, or blasting away fools with sort of drugs pumping through your veins like Tony Montana, nice little bit of wordplay there, it was a real blast from start to finish. Except for the Lady Comstock battle, and except for 1999 mode. Both of these can get f***ed. In this battle, you have to fire every single bullet, shell, rocket, grenade, shoe, whatever is in that trash can over there, the trash can itself, a clump of dirt, anything to try and bring her down, as she is such a sponge that her parents can't wait for her to move out. I hate this boss with so much of my soul that I've become a literal ghost thanks to playing this section over and over, and the sheer frustration of dying to her resurrected wave of goons just when I think I'm making headway is enough to make me want to dig my own grave. Now here's a real story for you. I actually had to genuinely walk away from this game for 2 weeks after getting stuck on this area for so long. And I know that there's probably loads of people out there that'd be like, oh, well, there's loads of guides, Jules. Oh, there's loads of like little things that you could do to do that. I did it without using any guides because I wanted the full challenge experience. And the full challenge experience, ooh, it salted my rim. I'm getting genuinely angry thinking about it now, so I'm going to move on. Number 2, Blighttown pre-patch, Dark Souls. Ah, Blighttown. If there was ever a level in a video game that would make me want to quit my job and go weep silently inside a bin for the rest of my life, it is this. The infamy of Blighttown is well known to Dark Souls players and beyond in this day and age, mainly thanks to its absolutely rude level of poison-pushing enemies and utter toxic level design. However, while we youngsters might load up the remastered edition of Dark Souls and whine like a poorly tuned engine in this day and age, real OGs know of the true potato up the tailpipe that was Blighttown pre-patch. Because ye gods, the game ran like a slideshow in this area, but every single image was one of utter pain. This relentless gauntlet of wobbling platforms and even jankier jumping controls running at a less than smooth single-digit frame rate might actually be what hell itself is like, and trying to battle the myriad of endlessly respawning enemies while also managing your moss collection is like being slapped in the face while trying to build a house of cards on an active fault line. And why is that, you ask? Well, because it's painful, prone to disaster, and come the end of it, you'll be wondering why the you're even doing it. And number 1, I just can't wait to be king. The Lion King for the SNES. Right, so if you ever weirdly wanted to take a hammer to the precious childhood memories you have about The Lion King and absolutely obliterate it until it is absolute dust, like glass that you then grind into your eye sockets, then you should probably go and play The Lion King for the SNES. Why is that? Because it is utter torture. Well, at least the second level is, anyway. This level will leave you roaring like a lion in frustration, but also looking like an absolute monkey thanks to all of the infuriating sections present here. This level is like a TED talk on how to really, absolutely piss players off, so much so that it's something of a masterclass of masochism. Things start off simple enough with the player leaping over some giraffe heads and then being introduced to the monkey puzzle, which then sees you have to roar at the pink monkeys in order to change the direction that they throw you, and even the first ostrich run is pretty easy, with the game providing indicators as to when to jump and when to duck. Seems like a pretty smooth ride so far, doesn't it? We're having a nice little scenic view of the savannah. Oh, look at that, look at all the wildlife. Oh no, the wheels have come off. Suddenly you come to a section where you have to leap over the water by grabbing onto hippos' tails, and it requires pixel-perfect accuracy, and the ostrich run that follows now lacks the indicators, meaning that you'll be slamming into hazards without even realizing it. And to top things off, if you do make it through these sections, you'll have to contend with a monkey puzzle so infuriating that you'll swear that it has no place in a kid's game. And at this point, it reminds you of the horrible truth that all of this devious difficulty was actually by design, as Disney told the developers of the game that they didn't want a title that could be completed in a mere weekend to encourage re-rentals from rental video stores. And so they made it so incredibly difficult that you'd have to pony up the cash if you ever wanted to see things through. It's dirty. I hate it. Of course I rented this loads of times to try and beat it, and I still couldn't do it. So yeah, I rage quit. I stepped away from it. I couldn't do it no more. Should I go back and finish it for a Live and Let's Dice stream? No. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 precise moments that you rage quit in video games. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. As always, I have been Jules. You can go follow me over on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice. We're now on Twitch. The reason why we're going on Twitch is because now we can use Twitch integration stuff for like Vermintide and other games as well. So go and join us over there. Live and Let's Dice with a C. Be great to see you over there, my friends. But before I go, just want to say one thing. We detailed today about precise moments in video games where we rage quit, and it's never nice to hold on to anger. I personally find it a very draining experience. I feel like it saps my very life essence to hold on to anger. So in that respect, I encourage you to let go of anger. I know that people will have hurt you in the past. I know that there will be mistakes that will affect your life, but I promise you, if you have the capacity to do so, forgiveness is the best route forward. Because not only does it mean that you can process things, you can get your energy back, you can begin to live your life, but it also means that they don't have power over you. And no one should have power over your life, all right? No one. You decide how you do things going forward, all right? So, with that in mind, I hope you have a lovely day. Whatever it is you get up to, go out there and absolutely smash it, you big ledge, all right? As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Peace.